Okay, let's turn that off and get my timer on so I know how long I have you guys so I don't take up all of your evening. All right, when we come down, we're just going to let our legs be comfortably out. And I'm going to go over a trick that's going to help you anytime you're riding in a car or taking a long trip. This is great for finding a good seat, but it's also beautiful for any of our yoga. We're going to take one leg and we're going to roll that thigh in and place it back down. Do it to the other one. Roll that thigh in, then grab a glute, pull it out, grab the other glute and pull it out. We find our sit bones that way. Let your tailbone go down and draw your navel in. Some people are going to have to bend their knees because of over tight hamstrings or really tight calves. So that's where these blocks come in handy. You can use a rolled up blanket or pillow if you'd rather. And you just put those underneath the knees for right now. And we're going to slowly warm up and then we'll get more into our movement. This is a gentle vinyasa. Vinyasa means to move with your body and your breath. Doesn't mean how fast you can go, but it can create strength and length at the same time. So after you find your sit bones, you take your crown up, drawing the navel in slightly. We're going to let our hands rest on those knees, and I want you to develop that sacred yoga space, that space that is sacred to you. It doesn't have to have any intrications with any religion, culture, or belief. It's your secret little bubble. All right? Breathe in and out, releasing any anxieties. Know that you are always changing. Let go of comparison to anyone, even yourself. Good. And we're going to slowly slide down. Let those hands slide down towards your feet. Toes are going to start to go up towards the sky just a little bit. And one of the things I want you to do, I'm going to turn, you stay as you are. I want you to try to have your back as nice and long as possible. We're not going to round. It's not how far down you come. We're being kind to our bodies, remember? So slowly hinging. And then we're going to press our hands in. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hinge down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hinge down. Good. One more time. And this time, if you're ready, pause down here. Let your arms kind of stretch out. Now you can round in the shoulders a little bit. Take your chin maybe towards the sternum. If it's okay to bring your head below your heart, maybe you fold down a little bit more, but only to where you can still breathe. Big breaths into the belly. See if you can move that navel towards your legs. Then as you breathe out, draw the navel towards the spine. Point one set of toes, pointing the whole foot, and then flex it again. Point the other one. And flex. Good job. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another, rolling it towards the floor just a hair. Hands slide up to the thighs. Our head's going to be the last thing to come up. Press the hands in as you unhinge. Good. We're going to take our blocks with us. We're going to let our legs open up just a little bit out to the sides. Just a little. Not as far as you can crank out. You may even need to move your glutes out of the way again. And we're going to come down in between, but we're going to let our fingertips walk. Hinging down. Toes are up. Rolling inner thighs in so that our sacrum can be nice and broad. Slowly walking those fingertips forward. Just to what feels okay. And where you can tent your fingers. Breathing in and out. If you want to slide forward just a little bit more, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you're able to hinge down a little bit more and let your forehead come towards the floor. Breathing in and out. Good. When you're ready, inhale, looking up, walking the hands closer to your body as you unfold. We're going to take one arm, it doesn't matter which one, and reach up. Let that chest lift up with it. Roll that shoulder back, and fingers are going to come down to the floor behind you, and then turn the fingers towards your booty. Come down to the heel of that hand. Second arm, roll up. Roll the arm back, fingertips come to the floor, and both sets of hands are facing the booty. Walk the hands a little closer together. Shoulders roll back and squeeze the elbows towards each other, lifting the hips just a hair, barely even off the floor. It's mostly our heart lifting. Flex the feet, take the tailbone towards the foot of the mat. Big breath into the belly, and then exhale, bend the elbows, pointing them towards the room behind you, rounding in the shoulders, just a hair, and walking the hands towards our legs again. Walk back down. Only till it feels good. Take a few breaths. All that tension you've been holding for the day starts to relax out of you. Good. Look up at your hands. Walk your hands over towards your left leg, drawing the navel over the thigh and reaching the hands towards the toes. And maybe you bow your head down. Inhale, look up. Walk to the center. Take a breath or two here. When you're ready, walk those hands over to the right leg and hinge down when you're ready. Maybe you bow your head. You may feel changes in your ribs and along your waist and even your hips. Look up, walk to the center, and walk the hands back underneath you, sitting back up. Remove the blocks and let your legs come out in front of you. Stretch them out. If you still need something underneath your knees, go ahead. Point and flex your feet. Roll the ankles one way and then the other. All right, wiggle the toes. Scrunch and release, wiggle, scrunch and release, and then let those toes come up. Again, roll those inner thighs in. We're going to hinge down, slowly hinging. Elbows come in, long spine. Then maybe tuck the chin. Maybe you stretch the arms down towards the toes. Toes towards the ceiling. Flexing the feet as if you're standing on the wall in front of you. Only if you feel ready to hinge down further, go ahead, but you do not have to. This is an option. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Slowly take one ear to a shoulder. Slowly to the other way. Back and forth. And center. Point the toes just a wee bit. And then flex the feet again. Squeeze inner thighs. The hands come to the knees. Walk it up towards the hips and inhale, unhinging. Lift one arm, roll that arm back. Fingers towards the booty, heel of the hand comes down. Second hand, big breath in. Roll that arm back. Tailbone towards the feet. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as if you're pinching a penny. Tailbone towards the feet. Bend the knees a little bit. Walk the feet a little closer to you. The feet can come down. Walk the hands to the shins. We're going to lay the belly on the thighs. Walk those arms over the legs. Good. Walk your hands back up to the knees. Sit up. Let the legs come out, just like we did with the blocks, just so you can feel the difference. You might be able to take them further apart than on the blocks. Take your tailbone down, draw the navel in, and walk the hands forward. Only to what feels right. Toes are up, engaging inner thighs in and trying to pull the pinky toes away. Only come down as far as what feels right. You can even use your blocks to rest your hands on. If you want to bring the floor closer, you can rest your elbows to hold up your head. You can even rest your forehead on the block or a stack of blocks. Do what feels right for your body. There's no right and there's no wrong. I want you to feel comfortable so you can trust yourself. I doubt that most are going to be able to come down like I am. I have been studying since I was 14 and I'm 35, so I've got quite a few years under my belt. So please don't compare. There are things that I can do and there are things I can't do, but it's honoring your body in the moment. When you're ready, walk your hands back up to your hips, press your hands in, and help yourself come up. Turn your navel towards your left or your right leg, whichever one calls to you, and slowly walk the hands over that leg. Try to make both sit bones stay on the floor. You may not come down that far, and that's okay. Please don't force yourself to come down. Again, you can use the blocks for the head or the hands. Point and flex the feet. Maybe you can even draw that chest over the leg a little bit more. When you're ready, flex. Walk the hands back up and unwind. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Other side. See if you can line your navel down the leg. Slowly hinge down. Sit bones stay on the floor. Good. When you're ready, walk your hands back up. Unwind. Let your legs come in. Let your hands just rest, kind of like you're sitting at the beach. Roll those legs in place. Good. All right. We're going to come up to our hands and knees. Let your blocks come forward. What I usually recommend is just swooping legs over to one side, to the shins, and slowly coming up to your hands and knees. If you have sensitive knees, you can roll up a towel. You can have a blanket nearby to go underneath your shins. We're going to have nice wide starfish hands on our mat. Or if you want to think more of it like when we used to do finger painting and we wanted the biggest turkey in the room, we want a really big turkey. We're going to have that wrist underneath our shoulders. We're going to try to have the knees underneath the hip point. So we kind of make a 90-degree angle, both in the hip and in the knee. If it is too hard to have your knees on the floor and your top of the ankles there, then you can roll up another towel and put it there if you'd like. Pressing the palms in, rolling the shoulders back, and squeezing the elbows in. Draw the navel in towards the spine a little bit, as if you could have a tray full of glasses with water in them on your back. Shoulders roll back and squeeze your triceps, the underneath of your arms, towards the center of the mat. Middle fingers face forward. This is tabletop. Press the shins in, engage inner thighs. We're actually building strength here. We're going to do some cat-cows. When you breathe out, draw your navel towards your spine, arching the back. Press the hands and the shins in, maybe even tuck the chin. Inhale into cow, letting the belly come down, the chest forward. Exhale into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And pause in neutral. This is something I call rolling kitty. We're going to lean to one side. And as we breathe out, almost coming to a child's pose, so almost bringing the booty over the heels. And then we lean our body weight, lean our chest to the other side, and come back up. Exhale to the first side. You can get as sultry as you want with your hips and your shoulders. Breathing up and breathing down. You can even arch the back more when you come up to the top if you want. Do more of a cow as you come down. And come to neutral. And we're going to go the other way. Lean and come down. Inhale. And exhale to the second side. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times. Good. Some of your wrists may be feeling a little weak right now, so we're going to come back to child's pose. That's where we bring the booty over the heels. Walk your hands out. Again, if this feels too tight for you, you can have a block for your forehead. I want your forehead to rest on something so your neck can have a break. Either rest a forehead on the floor or use a block. Stretch those fingers out in front of you as far as you can go. And then relax the elbows. Roll the inner thighs towards each other a little bit. Draw the navel towards the spine. Tailbone towards the heels. Child's pose. Notice the breath expanding through the ribs and down the spine, even down into the low back and sacrum. When you're ready, inhale and look up at your hands. Come back into your tabletop. We're going to do a puppy. Walk your hands out in front of you. Come down to your forearms so that your elbows come down. Squeeze the inner thighs and walk the hands out a little bit more and bring the chest towards the floor. Just a hair. Maybe the forehead even comes down. Nice long spine. We're trying to avoid sagging in the back. And a nice long back in our puppy. Press the shins in to the floor. Good. This is the first stage of our downward facing dogs. Press the palms in with all your might. Roll the triceps, that bottom part of the arms, towards the center, like you're squeezing your ears. And then roll the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and look up at your hands. Notice how long your back is. Bend one elbow and walk the hand closer, and then the other, letting yourself come up, back into your tabletop. Roll one wrist, round, and then roll it the other way. Wiggle the fingers. Make a fist with the thumb on the inside, knock, and then roll. Knock and roll the other way. Wiggle the fingers. Let's do the other one. Roll the wrist, both directions. Fist, knock, roll, wiggle fingers. And put that hand back down. Square yourself up again. Shoulders roll back, squeeze the elbows in towards one another. We're going to bend our elbows and slowly lower our chest down, kind of like a push-up. But these are called chaturangas in yoga. Spread your fingers out as wide as you can and press the fingertips into the mat. And then try to suction cup the fingers towards each other, almost causing a little suction spot in our palm. This helps support the wrists long term. We're going to bend the elbows, taking them down, aiming them towards the legs, lowering the chest down just a little bit. We're not going to go all the way down. And then inhale, press back up. Try it again. And press back up. One more time. And press back up. Child's pose. Booty down and back. Hands walk out and relax. Child's pose is an integration pose. It's a relaxing pose, a grounding pose. There is another version of child's pose, which is also called tortoise. To come into that, you simply slide your hands back by your feet and your shoulders round towards the mat. If you'd like to try that one, go ahead and slide your hands back by your heels, letting the shoulders drip towards the floor. When you're ready, slide your hands back up and out, stretch them out. Look up at them. Come back into your tabletop. Do a set of cat-cows. Exhale into your cat. Inhale into your cow. And pause. All right, I'm going to put my blocks back in place because we are going to be using them in just a moment. Curl the right toes underneath, and we're going to stretch out that leg nice and long, coming to the ball of the foot. And slowly we're going to weave our body weight forward and back, propelling the ball of the foot on the right so we come forward a little bit, and then weaving back, opening that calf back and forth, strengthening the arms. Squeeze midline with arms and legs. Your core is actually literally from the forehead to the inner big toes. So think about that. Your whole core, draw the navel in towards the spine. Good. Come to center and let that first knee come down. Now let's do the left. Curl those toes under and lengthen. Rock back and forth. We're strengthening our arms and our core here. It may not feel like we're doing much, but you will feel it tomorrow. Shoulders roll back, squeeze the elbows in. Try not to sag in your shoulders. Good. Let both knees come back together. This time toes stay together, but our knees walk out. Bring just the forearms down. We're going to press our hands together, palms touching, elbows come out. This is a dolphin arm, but we're not going to do dolphin. We're just letting our hands have a break. And our hips and sacrum get a break. If you want to come like in a child's pose, you may bring the booty back. Let the forehead rest on the floor or on a block. This is also a wide ankle child's pose. Some people find this more relaxing or more beneficial for them than the legs close together or hip distance. In some of the classes, I will be more specific on which one to use. But as always, do what feels right to you as well. All right, inhale, come up. Bring your body weight over your forearms so your shoulders come over your elbows. This is what we would do in dolphin. We will be using dolphin later on throughout the series. I just want you to feel what it's like to press the palms together, push the outer forearms into the mat, and try to drag the elbows towards your hips. just a wee bit. Walk your knees close together. Let your palms come down to the mat. Grab your blocks so they come closer to you. Lifting your body weight. I'm on my medium height. You can do small, medium, or large. I tend to do medium when I'm showing people how to do things so that it's a little clearer. So I'm going to stay in my medium. My hands are a little bit in front of the shoulders so that we have space to move a leg in between the blocks. When you're ready, we're going to swing or step the left foot forward so the foot can come in between the block. And your only rule here is we're going to try not to take our knee past our toes. Okay? And we want to push the shin forward the whole time. Squeeze the inner thighs. Your back leg can either be directly underneath your hip or further back. I'm about in between right now. As you warm up and as you become more flexible, you may be able to go further back. But for right now, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the elbows in, bring the belly on the inside of your left leg. We're going to push the shin towards the toes. Let the tailbone flow forward. We're not pushing the hips forward. We're tucking that tail and moving forward, rolling the shoulders back. Big breath in. Exhale, unbend that front leg. Bring the booty over. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time lift the front toes up. Breathe in and out a few times. Press your right shin in. And when you're ready, inhale. Place that left foot back on the floor. Bring that shin forward. Tailbone swoops forward. Hands come to the knee. Squeeze midline and drop your tailbone down. Inhale, pressing up. You're going to be opening your hip flexor. Be gentle with yourself. Squeeze midline. Lift the right arm up. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale up. Tailbone goes down and forward. Exhale, hinge. Squeeze midline. We're working on balance here as well. Inhale. And hands find the blocks. Good. Step your left foot back. Wiggle the hips side to side. Good. We're going to do the other one. Step that right foot forward. You might feel how stiff that one feels. All right, pushing the right shin forward again. Remember, no knees going past that front set of toes. Scoop your tailbone. Inhale. Exhale, press the back shin in. Squeeze midline. Belly can come on the inside of the right thigh. Inhale forward. Exhale back. You can move those blocks further underneath your shoulders if you want. You can bring them up higher if you need. Front toes up. Bring the booty back just a little. Relaxing breaths. Good. Place that foot back down. Shin comes forward. Tuck the tail forward. Hands come to the knees. Shoulders roll back. Press your right foot in. Tailbones down and forward. Think of a superhero. You are that superhero standing there. Raise the left arm up. Exhale, hinge forward. Squeeze midline. Inhale up. Exhale down. Hands find the blocks and slide that right foot back. Move the legs really close together and shake those hips side to side. Good. All right, we're going to step that left foot forward again. Curl the right toes, and we're going to come into what's called a runner's lunge. Bring your belly on the inside of the left foot. Uncurl that back leg. See how long you can make your full body. The odds are you're not going to look like me, and that is fine. Squeeze the inner thighs. Take your tailbone forward towards your left knee, just a hair. We're going to bend our back knee, almost like we're lowering the shin down, and then unbend. Eventually, you can get to where it is only the leg moving. Odds are you're not doing that yet, and that's okay. This is a way to help with the epidemic that Americans and most people around the world have from sitting for our jobs, for driving. In the past year, we've done a lot more sitting than ever. So this is going to help with that. All right, unbend that leg, bring your hands up to your front knee. Scoop your tailbone forward and up. Ready? Here we go. Inhale. Tailbone down and forward. Lift the right arm up. Squeeze midline to hold your balance. Try to take the feet away. And this time we're going to hinge over to the left just a hair. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge down. Hands find the blocks. Unbend your front knee just a little bit. It's not quite a pyramid. Squeeze inner thighs a little bit. See if your hips can maybe even look at your hips. Do they seem even? Do the outsides feel parallel to the outside of the mat? Does the front of the pelvis seem parallel to the front of the mat? Take your front toes up. Keep breathing. All right, place that foot down. We're actually going to come up to a standing. Bend both knees. And slowly move that back foot forward, maybe a couple times or one big step. Bend your knees. Exhale, let your hands leave the blocks. This is called chair, tailbone down. Squeeze inner thighs. And we're coming all the way up to standing. Inhale, unbending. Arms relax. You don't have to reach all the way up. Roll the shoulders back and let those hands come down. Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathing in and out. Feel strong. Feel tall. And notice how one side feels completely different from the other. Feel your breath. Feel your confidence building. Take your tailbone down. Roll the inner thighs in and back. Any of those things that hold you back are flowing out through your pores. Let yourself center. Arms come out in T position. We're going to do what's called a swan dive. Bend your knees a little bit. We're going to slowly hinge. We're not rounding. We're hinging down into a forward fold, but keep your knees bent. Slowly coming down. Hands find the blocks. If it's okay to bring your head below your heart, let your head come down. Slowly unbend just the right leg. And rebend it. Slowly unbend just the left. And rebend. Looking up a little bit. Now we're going to step the left foot back. This is a different way that we can come in and out of the poses that we've been doing. You can step up or you can step back. So this time we're going to step back. Come to the ball of the left foot. Slide that left foot back into that runner's lunge. And then place that shin down to make sure that you are adjusted how you need to be. All right, curl the toes back underneath and come into your runner's lunge, belly on the inside of the right leg. Bend the back knee, unbend. Bend the back knee, unbend. Let your throat be open. Eyes are soft. 3 more if you got it in you. If not, that's absolutely fine. Good. Unbend that leg. Hands come up to the front knee. Squeeze inner thighs. Scoop your tailbone forward and inhale up. You've got it. You're strong. Take your tailbone down and forward. Take your left arm up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale up. Woo! Squeeze your inner thighs. I let go. And hinge over just a little bit. Whoa, I'm losing it again. I need to press my big toe in. Inhale up and hinge forward. Grab your blocks. Unbend the front knee. So see, even the teacher can be a little off balance. I was not paying attention to myself. Slowly hinge down. Pressing the big toe in can help you a lot with your balance. When you step into a yoga studio, a lot of times we're on a hardwood floor or a hard surface. Odds are a lot of us are on carpet, and it does change our stability a little bit. Try to square your hips. It's not a bad thing, it's just different. But you'll notice when you do this outside on a soft surface versus a hard surface, a lumpy surface versus sand, carpeting versus hardwood or marble floor. All right, bend your front knee. We're going to step back up to that standing. Bend your back. Step up into chair. Breathe out. Inhale all the way up. Roll the shoulders back, and this time we're going to take the hands behind us. We're going to grasp those hands. Shoulders roll back, squeeze the elbows towards one another, and then let the knuckles come down. Tailbone comes down. Try to resist the urge of jutting the hips forward. Tailbone goes down. We're going to lift those arms away. Big breath in. And arms drift back down. One more time. This time we're going to forward fold. Bend your knees, and instead of swan dive, we're going to take these arms up behind us. Slowly hinge down. Bend your knees. Just to what feels okay. Keep bending your knees a little bit. Lengthen your back, and then let the arms let go and dangle down. Slowly round. This is ragdoll. Bend your knees, let your arms dangle. So your legs are supporting you. Squeezing your thighs, knees are slightly bent, so the weight is over your heels and your toes. Your top body just gets to hang over the legs. Good. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. You can use your blocks if you want. I'm going to show you how to do this without the blocks, but you can use the blocks if you'd like. Place your hands on the mat nice and firm. So if you really need to bend your knees, bend your knees. Step 1 foot back, just like we did with the lunge. So wide starfish hands. Slide 1 foot back to the toes and then let the heel come down. Maybe bring your belly on the inside of the leg. You can swing it out to the side and then back behind you, almost like a plank. And then squeeze the inner arms together, bend your knees. This isn't how deep you can go. I want your back as long as it can go. So press your hands in as much as possible, lengthening your spine, just like that puppy dog at the very beginning. Squeeze the elbows towards one another. Now unbend one knee and then the other. Downward facing dog. Let the head hang. Squeeze the shoulders towards each other, wrapping the bottom of the arms towards the head, and yet letting the shoulders roll away from the ears. Bend your knees and let your shins come down into child's pose. Let the arms relax. We'll come back into downward facing dog, but take a break first. Look up at your hands. Walk your hands over to the right side. Walk your left hand away a little bit more. Take the right hand on top and push it in. And slowly bring the weight towards your left hip just a wee bit and let your head relax. Big breaths in and out. Good. When you're ready, walk your hands to center and then over to the left. Same thing. Walk the left hand out. Walk the right hand even further. Press the left hand on top of the right. Try to take your weight towards your right hip and letting the head relax. 3 big breaths here. Good. Walk your hands to the middle. We're going to try our downward facing dog again, but we're going to come in a different way. Walk your hands out, kind of like you did in puppy. Push your shins into the floor. Come up almost like tabletop, but your arms are further out. Roll the shoulders back and squeeze your inner arms together so that your shoulder blades aren't poking up at the sky. They're laying more along the sides of your back. Curl the toes underneath. Lengthen the arms out just like you did in puppy dog. See how long you can make your spine and then start to unbend your knees just halfway. Bring the shins up over the floor, hovering. Press your hands in with all your might. You're probably not going to be very long in your downward facing dog, and that's okay. Squeeze the arms towards one another. But I want you to drop your shoulders away from the ears. So slide the shoulders back as if someone is trying to push you forward and your shoulders are holding you back. And slowly unbend your knees. You can walk in place, bending one knee and then unbending the other. It's also called bicycling, walking the dog, lots of different names for this. Squeezing your arms towards one another. Good, and then pause. Let your shins come down, child's pose. Fantastic. Look up, and remember when we swooped our feet behind us to come in? So go the other way. So I swoop my feet to the left, so this time I'm going to swoop my feet to the right. If you don't remember, that's okay. We're going to come back to our seat. We're going to bring our blocks with us and our handy dandy strap. And we're going to slowly come down to our backs. Feet on the floor, knees bent, and we're going to do a mini bridge. Walk your fingertips towards your heels. As far down as you can go, shoulders away from the ears. Now your back's probably not feeling that great yet. So feet are hip distance apart. Push the shins towards the toes. Press the back of the arms into the mat and take the tailbone towards the foot of the mat and swoop it up towards the knees just a little bit. And maybe you can lift the hips up off the floor by squeezing in your thighs, pushing shins forward and pushing the back of the arms into the mat. And then they come down. The space behind your shoulders comes down first. Keep tucking the tailbone towards the knees. Then the space underneath the navel comes down, and then last are the hips. Let the arms separate from the body and just kind of roll out. We're going to take the strap or the belt or even scarf into our hands. Draw the left knee into the heart. Just let the back kind of melt into place. Then we're going to take the strap and put it behind the foot, or I should say at the ball of the foot, and then unfold that leg as if you're standing on the ceiling. All right. We're going to take the strap in our right hand, and we're going to take our left hand to our left hip, so we can guide that left hip down towards the foot of the mat. Our right foot is going to keep pushing in. We're going to slowly let this left leg go to the right side. However, we're not letting our left hip leave the floor. So I'm going to turn so that you can see this. You stay where you are. All right. So my left hip is staying down and slowly letting the right leg go over. Flexing the foot. This is your IT band you're going to be feeling. And then back off. Exhale, press the right foot in. Left hip stays down. Inhale. One more. Pause over there if you would like. You can also draw the leg closer to you. Big breaths, let it unmelt. When you're ready to back off, bend that left knee. Place that left ankle on the right knee. We're going to do a supine pigeon. Flex the left foot. You can keep the strap there if you want. You can also use the strap to help lift the right leg if you'd like. If this feels awesome, stay there. Otherwise, you can inhale and then exhale. Draw the navel in, squeeze inner thighs, and lift the legs up. You can hold with strap or take the left hand in between and the right hand to wrap around and draw the legs in, either holding shin or thigh. Big breaths in and out. Tailbone drifts down. Shoulders relax. Left foot is slightly flexed. Some people even like to slowly rock side to side along their lower lumbar. Good. When you're ready, come to the middle and slowly lower both feet back down. Pause for a moment. Grab your strap and we'll do the other side. Draw the right knee into the heart, smushing the back into the floor as you take your strap to the ball of the right foot. Unbend that right leg nice and long as if you're standing on the ceiling. Press the left foot in, right hand comes to the right hip. Guide that right hip towards the foot of the mat. Same direction as your tailbone. Draw the navel in and slowly let that right leg come over and then float back up. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. If you'd like to pause over there, go ahead. Maybe you draw the leg a little closer to your chest. You don't have to. That'll take you deeper. And it's okay if you only go a few centimeters worth of movement. It took me years to move 4 inches. All right, slowly back off. Bend the knee. Let that ankle come to the other knee. I'm going to turn again. So if you need to see, you can. All right, you can use your strap or your hands to draw the legs up and in, finding a handhold that works for you. Breathing in and out slowly and gently. Shoulders relax. You can rock side to side if that feels right to you. And then when you feel ready, let one foot come down and then the other. Walk your feet out away from each other. Heels come out, toes in, and let the knees drift in towards each other just a little bit. Arms can come out into a T position, palms facing the floor. Slowly turn the toes to face the left side and let those knees kind of drift over just a little bit. If you're in track, it's like a hurdle stretch, just a little bit. A mild twist for the lower back, and opening for the hip flexors and the quadriceps. Send soothing feelings to those spaces opening. Let the muscles relax a little bit. Squeeze in your thighs a little bit. Imagine drawing the knees into your heart. Letting the feet come back up, the knees point back towards the ceiling, toes go to the right side, and let those knees drift a little bit. Tailbone towards the middle of the mat, just a little bit. When you feel like you can relax a hair more, take a deep breath in. Good job. Squeeze inner thighs a little bit. Draw the knees like they're coming to the heart just a hair. And legs come back up. All right. This is a time that most people absolutely love. It is called Shavasana. It is where we lay down nice and comfortably. You can use the blocks. You can use pillows to be underneath your knees. So you can have legs out along. This is called corpse pose, where your legs are out. You're almost like a starfish, but not quite. Walk your fingertips away from you. Arms can be relaxed. Palms up. Or you can have palms down. It's a preference. If you are starting to relax and you're like, that just doesn't work for me, it's where you walk your feet back up. Maybe you slide the blocks underneath your thighs, just underneath your booty, closer to your knees, and let your legs relax again. Or maybe you need to have your knees more bent like a butterfly with the feet towards each other. Maybe it's your neck. Bring your fingertips underneath your neck and massage your neck a little bit. Feel the forehead and the chin. Do they feel parallel to the sky? Do they feel parallel to the ceiling? Move your neck around, move your cranium around a little bit until it feels like those surfaces are parallel to each other. When you feel like you could relax as if you were going to take a nap, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Maybe you let the tip of your tongue go just behind the front teeth, touching the roof of the mouth. Jaws relax, even the tongue relaxes a little bit more. Feeling the support, safety, and security of the earth underneath and the sky gently comforting from above. Drifting in that really cool limbo that the body can do, where it feels heavy and lightweight at the same time. The forehead relaxes. Maybe you imagine like you're getting a massage of the scalp and the face. Jaws relax. All the tension, anxieties, and worries melting, dripping off of your body. As the space around you transmutes all of that stuff dripping off of you and out of you. Turn it back into good positive energy. The legs are heavy and relaxing. The arms feel like they're floating. The The eyes drift in their sockets. Letting yourself picture a very relaxing place. Imagine yourself there. Resting. All the tension leaving the body. Giving yourself permission to let go and just to be for this moment. Maybe you even welcome, accept, and allow unconditional support from the life force, from the universe, from source, or maybe something you believe in and work with. Maybe it's the earth or even your own strength and power. You feel it unconditionally loving, supporting, and comforting you. Taking this mini vacation, integrating everything we've done into the body, the mind, and the spirit. Slowly, in the way back part of your mind, start to notice what your breath is again. As you breathe in, and as you breathe out, the sound of it, the rhythm of it, even the temperature, cool on the inhale, warm on the exhale. Bringing more and more of yourself back into your body, here and now. The contact points of your body where it touches the earth. Wiggling fingers and toes, scrunching the nose, making all kinds of funny faces, sticking the tongue out, yawning and stretching. And relaxing again. Starting to picture in your mind how you're going to come out of this. Sliding the feet underneath the knees. Maybe you move the blocks out of the way if you have them there. And then deciding what side of the body you'd like to roll to in a soft fetal position. Do you need to draw a knee into your heart as you roll over? Do you need to scoot the hips up to the side? Most people roll to their right side, but for some, they need to roll to their left, either because of health reasons or it's just what calls to them. Right is usually more relaxing, especially at the end of the day. And we do this to balance our nervous system with our circulatory system, to recalibrate. When you're ready to sit up, you know the trigger points in your back and in your shoulders. Some people need to draw a knee into their heart to sit up, and some need to extend the leg depending on what helps their back or their body. Listen to the wisdom within yourself. Slowly come up. Doesn't have to be any crazy yoga pose. Doesn't have to be a lotus or cross-legged. It can be legs out. You can have those blocks underneath your knees. You can even sit on top of a block if that feels better to you. You can stack feet in front of each other. Something that is relaxing and comfortable to you, where you feel like you can sit up nice and tall. Long spine. It doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to look perfect. Just comfortable to you. Place one hand over your belly and one over your heart, and just feel your breath coming in and out. Feeling the courage. Thanking yourself for giving yourself the time tonight for this class to help your body and your mind to strengthen and lengthen the body, to let some stress relief happen. At this time, if you have any manifestations or intentions that you have for yourself, loved ones, community, the world, let it fill the space, your sacred yoga space. Fill that space with these intentions and manifestations, these positive feelings and thoughts. Maybe you can even envision them occurring. And as if breathing life into these, you bring your hands into Andala Mudra, prayer hands, in front of the heart. The spots of the hands that we touch when we do this, and having it in front of the heart, helps you to seal these positive feelings and affirmations, these manifestations and intentions into place. That's why so many places around the world use this hand gesture in a peaceful way. Send those manifestations, prayers, and good wishes and intentions out to be heard, setting them in action. I like to close classes with an Om, 3 Shantis, and a Namaste. This means Om. Means we are all connected as one. Amen and Shalom are derivatives of Om. They came about as the word passed through different languages and sections of the world. The vibration and frequency is the same of outer space. And we've been chanting this for thousands of years. Shanti in Sanskrit means peace. When we say it 3 times, it connects us to our own inner divine spark. Namaste means the light, or my spirit, honors your light, your spirit. Said together is an honoring of you, of those that came together tonight, who have studied and practiced peace and mindfulness for generations. You may join if you wish. You don't have to if you don't want to. Big breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for coming to tonight's Gentle Vinyasa class. In just a moment, I am going to make it available that you can unmute yourself if you so choose to ask any questions about tonight's practice or your own practice at home. We will be meeting every week for 2 months for this gentle vinyasa, and we are going to be progressing in what we are doing for more strengthening and lengthening abilities. So you are now available to unmute yourself if you would like, or you can put something in the chat. Does anyone have any questions about tonight's practice or on your own practice? It can even be a modification that you need because something didn't feel right or something didn't move correctly for you. Does anyone have any questions? You're welcome, Holly. You're welcome, Kathy. I'm glad you are enjoying it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome, Karen. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm glad so many of you are feeling so good. This is great.
Yes, thank you. It was a nice class.
Good, you're welcome. And if you want to learn more about yoga as we're progressing and you want to take even more classes, I do have classes outside of here that we go even deeper into a series every week. I have classes most days of the week, mostly in the morning, but I do have some evening classes. I have a beautiful restorative class on Thursday or on Tuesday after. Rewind, Tuesday evenings. And that one's really nice. We only do 5 poses and you're laying down the whole time and you use pillows. It's great. So that is an option if after the series you feel like you want to dive in more or even during it, there are those options. Or if you just want to check out what else I teach and do, I am also an energy healer and I teach people how to do that as well. An animal communicator, and I teach people how to do that, as well as yoga, tai chi, meditation. So if you want to check me out, I'm all over social media. If you have other questions, if you want to ask privately, you can do social media. You can go to my website and email me from there. My contact info is there if you don't want to ask anything tonight or something pops in your brain that didn't come up this evening. Feel free to reach out. Yeah. So, and if you have any question about gear or anything like that, reach out, let me know. Does anyone have any questions tonight or something that you want to share on how you feel after class or a change that happened for you? There's no there's no stupid questions. Okay. Just putting that
Kelly,
out.
where's a good place to buy blocks?
There are different types. Let me grab my other set of blocks. So these are the typical size blocks. These are Gaiam. Someone gave me a whole bunch of them when I started teaching. You can get this size block, which is like the normal, what is that, like 3 to 4 inches. Walmart, Target, 5 and below, Odd Lots, TJ Maxx. You can buy them singularly. Sometimes you can buy them as a double pack. You can order them online. These are foam. I would recommend when you start to get a foam block versus a wood or cork. Wood and cork are for more advanced poses, and you're not going to use them equally. Foam you can use for just about anything. Wood and cork you're only using for certain things. Let me grab my other blocks. They're a different size. These, I believe, well, now I don't even remember where I got them. Maybe I got these at 5 and below. I don't remember. These are a smaller level, so you can see side by side.
Yep, thank you.
I use them equally for me, but some people prefer a larger one versus a small one. And I prefer my larger ones for when we will be doing where we actually put our sacrum, we put our booty on top of the block as we're laying down on our back. And this gives a little bit of a lift. Some people, this is too much, so they need a lower one, or you can use a pillow when we go to do stuff like that. But those are my recommendations for blocks, foam versus wood or cork to start out with. You can get straps at almost all the same places you can get blocks. I prefer a strap that's about 5 feet or longer, just so when we really start to do those things with like stretching out our hamstrings, the sides of our legs, then you have enough length that your arms can relax. If you don't want to invest in a strap, that's fine. Use a belt or a scarf. Just try to have one with enough length and oomph that you can let your shoulders relax. And there are other things that we'll be using the straps for shoulder release and arm strengthening and hip opening.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions about gear or what we did today or your own practice or modification, how to do a pose differently because it didn't work well for you or something like that? Oh, all right. Well, I promised I wasn't going to take all of your evening, and I've already taken 15 extra minutes of your evening. So again, if you have any other questions, find me on social media, Haley Hinson, or you can look me up on my website, sacredlotusheart.com. All of that is also in the chat. I can repost it if some people need that, because I know sometimes if you joined later, you don't always see it, so I'll just repost it. And as always, thank you to the Cook and Aspen Library for providing these classes. And if you want to check out even more special events and classes that they offer, check that out. I am doing a belly dancing that's a one-night thing, and I believe that's May 3rd. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Maybe that's not up for booking yet, but that will be in May. There's a teen meditation. If you know any teens that need to get into some meditation to relieve some stress, that is coming up on the 23rd. And I do a weekly Tai Chi, weekly chair yoga, and meditation for the library. So hope to see you guys at some more classes. Let us know what you think of the class, and I will be looking even more in depth into the questionnaire that everyone filled out. But if things change, if you get an injury or you have a cold or something, let me know because that helps me better cue you. It doesn't mean that anything is particularly wrong, but let's say you hurt yourself gardening or you hurt yourself working out too much or you have a headache. If you have a headache, don't take your head below your heart. If we're laying down and that's too much, sit back up and we can do something else. So if you have questions like that, put it in the chat so I can see it. I'll see that something has popped up. So there are no stupid questions. I want you to enjoy your class. All right, everybody. Have a great evening the rest of your week. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye.